Why would you go to Division II or Division III if that's going to count against your eligibility when you can go to JuCo for 2 years, get on the field, get a lot of at-bats? Again, you can get drafted out of JuCo year one, so why would you go to D2, D3 when you go to, even if you don't get drafted, you go to JuCo for 2 years, now you get 4 more years of eligibility in the NCAA level. This is why. Okay, so I'm sure a lot of you by now have seen the news that dropped last night about a college football player who basically a judge made a decision saying that his JuCo years did not affect his 4 years of eligibility in the NCAA. Now again, when anything comes out like this, guys, we don't need to rush to conclusions, especially high school players. Don't make a decision just yet about committing to a JuCo now, because you see this going around Twitter. A lot of people who have no idea what they're talking about are saying, this is what's going to happen. It's 100% a rule now. Everything I'm hearing, it's not. It's an individual case, an injunction, decision made by the judge about that individual player. Now, I reached out, and members of our team at Elite Sports Advising reached out to a lot of our JuCo contacts to try to figure out if they were hearing anything from their ADs or anything like that. Basically, we've all heard the same thing. It's an individual case decision. It is not a wide sweeping rule yet. But what a lot of these coaches think will happen is the floodgates will now open for a lot of players looking for the same decision, going and taking it to court and having the same ruling apply to them. And again, the more that happens, there's precedent, which means eventually you could see this rule becoming official. Right now, not official. It's not a wide sweeping rule that you can go to JuCo and your eligibility won't count towards the 4 years of NCAA. Right? That's just what we're hearing right now. Again, this decision was just made. There's a lot of bad information out there. People thinking that this is like a done deal for every JuCo athlete. Again, I do think people will start taking this to court that already are at the junior college level or had been at the junior college level, and as soon as a couple of more of these decisions are made, the NCAA and the National JuCo Association will probably have a official rule created. Now, the National JuCo Colleges Association already came out basically in support of this, right? Because it makes JuCos more attractive. So they're coming out in support of it. So I think this is all moving towards it becoming official, but it's not there yet. All right, so just be careful and cautionary when thinking about making a decision when this is not a wide sweeping official rule yet. All right, it's looking like it's heading there, but it's not there yet. Okay, so what are the changes going to be if this is the case, guys? The first, and we talked about this as a group last night in our group text. This is going to be a tidal wave hit to D2 and D3. Why would you go to Division II or Division III if that's going to count against your eligibility when you can go to JuCo for 2 years, get on the field, get a lot of at-bats? Again, you can get drafted out of JuCo year one, so why would you go to D2, D3 when you go to, even if you don't get drafted, you go to JuCo for 2 years, now you get 4 more years of eligibility in the NCAA. How does that make any sense? So D2s, D3s, good luck recruiting your high school freshmen or your high school players. You're not going to recruit high school players. Why would they make a decision unless they really want to go to a high academic D3 right out of the gate? It makes no sense from your baseball career perspective to go to one of these two when you can go to JuCo if that rule becomes wide sweeping. Because now you basically got 6 years of college baseball ahead of you. And the only guys, these D2s and D3s, the only guys they'll be getting, if this becomes a rule, are the transfers that aren't good enough to go to D1 after JuCo. That's the reality of what will happen. Again, there's just no incentive to go to D2 or D3 because right now you have the same. They're all kind of in the same boat competition-wise. Really good D2, you're going to have the same opportunity to transfer up or whatever as you do at a JuCo. or a really good D3. So there's not a lot of parity. I mean, there's a lot of parity between the three levels right now. There's not huge advantages to one or the other. Besides, at a junior college, you can get drafted, right? That's really the only difference. If this happens, there's no way anybody can recommend to a high school junior or senior to go to a D2 or D3 over a JuCo, because you basically you're playing with house money. So you're not costing yourself eligibility years, and now you can go play. Maybe you turn out to be really good in your second year. You can go play for another 4 years at the Division I level, or any of these levels. So it just makes no sense to go to any other level. So first thing, if this goes into effect, D2, D3s are going to get killed trying to recruit high school players. Next effect, it's going to be even more difficult to get to the Power 5 or Power 4 as a high schooler. Now, why is that? Well, here's the advantage you have recruiting a high schooler over a JuCo or a D2 or D3 kid. That high schooler has 4 years of eligibility, right? So if you get the really good player, you got him for 4 years. I mean, you're seeing a lot of guys get extra, but you guys know what I mean. You have him for a minimum of 4 years. If you're getting a JuCo guy, maybe he has 3 years, maybe he has 2 years. Or you're getting a D2, D3 guy, probably has 2 years of eligibility left, maybe 1 year of eligibility left. So the advantage of this now you're basically going to have JuCos become feeder pro. I mean, they already are, but it's going to be even in a larger sense. Like, you're going to go to certain JuCos because that coach at that Power 4, hey, we really heavily recruit out of this junior college. We have a great relationship with our staff, and it's almost going to be like a feeder program. I mean, that's what will happen. But it's going to be even more difficult for you as a high school player to get to the Power 4 level, because now even the really good freshman or the really good high school player, is he going to win out over a guy who's got 2 or 3 years of at-bats and 2 years at a JuCo, and now we get him for 4 years? Right? That's the thing. Again, that junior college player, if he gets to a Power 4 as what would be his 3rd year of playing, he's draft eligible. So there are some, checks and balances to this, but again, you're going to go with the proven guy. And so now, again, you may have a good player who's kind of just outside that draftability level as far as talent. He may be a really good college player, but doesn't have the physical tools. Well, you may, again, best case scenario, you may have that guy for 4 years, and he's already a veteran when he gets on campus. So this would be a massive change. And again, it's one of these things we're seeing happening probably because of all these recruiting rules, recruiting changes. Players are being cut, players are having to transfer. Again, this case was about a football player, but it may even be easier to convince a judge to allow this for a baseball guy who, with all these changes, has kind of gotten screwed over. So way harder for high school players to get to the Power 4 now. And again, average age in college going to increase. All right, so your average age in college is going to be even higher, right? I mean, we're getting to the point where your average age on a college roster is going to be like a AA roster used to be in professional baseball. Your AA roster, your average age would probably be 22 or 23. I mean, 20, maybe probably around 23. We're getting to the point where that may be the case, right? Because if you've got 6 years of eligibility, you're going to be, 24 when you're done? 24? And that's if you don't get granted all the extra years that you're seeing all these guys get. Now, remember, these are all going to happen if this thing becomes a wide sweeping rule and is official for anybody that goes to the junior college level. It's going to impact not just baseball, it's going to impact all kinds of sports, because again, you can go to a junior college and get experience and prove yourself on film and in stat book, and then you're good to go. Like I said, points for you guys to remember. This is not an official rule yet. I've talked to 4 junior college coaches last night about this. guys on our team, talked to multiple coaches at the junior college level. They don't have a lot of information about this right now. Again, it was an individual case, which means a lot of people will probably try to follow suit and take that same kind of case to court to earn their eligibility back, or however, whatever they're trying to do. This is not a case that it's an official rule where if you commit to a junior college right now, you're going to have 4 years eligibility after 2 years. So don't get confused. Again, it could change tomorrow. It could change in a few days. But this is not a wide sweeping rule where you should be making a decision based on it yet. Until that happens, just let's see what happens and how this situation evolves. But a lot of people out there telling guys, hey, your JuCo years aren't going to count. And it's like, that was for one guy. That's not a widespread rule yet. Does it look like it's probably going to happen sometime soon? Yeah, it does. And again, the more people that start kind of taking this to court, because this guy, well, why does this guy get it and I don't get it? As soon as multiple people start doing that and judges start awarding this, the same eligibility not counting type reward, it's going to become official. So we have to monitor it. We will keep you updated with that situation as it develops, as coaches are telling us more and more about it. But again, don't make a decision yet. If you're out there considering going from D1, D2, or JuCo, don't make a decision yet based on some tweets you saw last night. Again, that is not official, and until it is, I will keep you updated. As soon as I hear that this is likely becoming a rule or eventually going to become a rule, I will be the first to let you know. Let me know what you guys think about this. How is this going to impact the NCAA? How is it going to impact college recruiting? We're going to talk about it on our stream later today, but appreciate all the support in the video, guys. We'll be back again with another one tomorrow.